Hey everybody, so I am doing a quick video on my Craftsman Pro Series 46-inch cut Kohler Elite 24 horse, it might be 25, it's a V-twin model. Okay, so it's a 24 horsepower 7000 series Elite. This has been in the shed that needs to be cleaned out all winter, and surprisingly the tires are full, and I'm kind of doing an overall review, I guess. It's not just on my Kohler Elite or my Craftsman. So the reason why I bought this machine was because I have owned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riding lawnmowers in the last 3 or 4 years. They were not new, and the reason why was because our yard is nowhere near big enough to have a riding lawnmower, but I do mow my aunt's yard that's not too far away. It's literally right across the street, so I just drive this right over and mow her yard too. But the reason why I bought this was because it's not very fun to be mowing in the direct sunlight in her yard all day, because literally her yard is just covered by the sun the entire day until sunset. So it gets extremely hot. So this just makes it so much easier. Plus she has a lot of banks that have to be done with a push mower. So usually when you're done with the flat areas, you're already exhausted, and now you've got to do the rest by hand too. So I had a Craftsman 2 38-inch cut. It was an old 12.5 horsepower synchro balanced 38-inch cut riding lawnmower, and I ended up getting rid of it because it didn't have brakes. It was very hard to start up. The blade engagement was giving me problems. After a while, it just started to seize. So when you try and engage the blades, things were rusted up on the deck, so the pulleys didn't move like they were supposed to. Not to mention I only paid like a couple $100s for it, and then had to pay twice that much to get the deck rebuilt and get everything fixed up. So that was a total waste. My next tractor was a Craftsman 46-inch cut 20 horsepower. It was a gold colored tractor. I don't remember. I think it was called like a DTS 3000 or something like that. It was not a very good riding lawnmower because it would randomly backfire on me when I was mowing. It wouldn't mow in reverse. No matter what I tried to do, it just wouldn't mow in reverse. And if you stopped when you were mowing, it would just shut down. So, and these were all like 5-speed mowers. So I got rid of that one. Then we had this little Poulan Pro rear engine rider that used like a slip or a friction disc drive, which was total junk. It was absolute junk. I had that for maybe a month. Nobody would work on it. The battery for them are very weird. They're very flat. They look like a little RC car battery, and I ended up having to get rid of that too. So I sold that for like $80, but I got it for free from my uncle. He said that it ran great, but the belt flew off and snagged a bunch of harnesses and wires and everything, so that was shot. And then I bought a Craftsman YTS 3000. It was a 42-inch cut, 21 horsepower. I mean, they only just recently stopped selling those, but I bought mine used. Well, the guy didn't tell me that the deck was bent and couldn't be bent back into shape, so it always cut low on the one side. So I got rid of that one too. That was a total waste of time, and it made me mad that I went through all that. So then I was like, screw it, I'm not going to deal with people and their shady business anymore. So I just went to Kmart one day. My local Kmart is one of the select few Kmarts that actually sell riding lawnmowers now, and they're all Craftsman brand. So I was pleasantly surprised to see when I was there that there was a Craftsman Pro series, and it was on sale. It was a 42-inch cut. It was a hydro, but when I went online to look, um, because the guy said that they had more options online that they can bring to the store. Well, he was dishonest. You couldn't. They only had what they had in stock. Um, I ended up looking at Sears, and I had bought this one, and then right after I thought about it, I could spend an extra $50, get an extra 4 inches of cut, get an extra 4 horsepower or 3 horsepower, um, and a V twin. I think the other one was a V twin, but a better, bigger engine, electric PTO, 5-inch turning radius, um, a front push bar on it. I put the armrests on myself. I got those off of eBay through a lawnmower vendor distributor. I got them brand new, but they're universal fit for most MTD mowers. This one also has a heavier duty transmission in it than the other one does, and it also has a heavier duty front cast iron axle on it as well. So this also has the Smart Connect Lawn Craftsman app to tell you like the oil life and the amount of hours that are on your mower. This has cruise control. It has everything, really. Everything for a small yard tractor. Overall, I'm really pleased with it. I think it's going to need a little oil because, not in the engine, but on the front here, because it kind of squeaks when I turn the wheel all the way to the one side. The zero turn is awesome. It's almost like having a zero turn tractor without having to pay the price for one. But it's a 5-inch turning radius. And the other thing that I wanted to say was, what happened is my Sears, pretty much all the Sears are going out of business, especially in my area. The one that I went to, they have displays, but they don't have anything in stock because it's in a mall. My Sears is in a shopping mall, and it's about an hour away from me. So they told me that I was going to have to order it and wait a couple of weeks till they got one in on shipment, and then it's like a 3-hour trip for the warehouse that Sears does all their deliveries from, and that we'd have to deliver on a Tuesday between 11 and 3. And I said, well, I work till 2:30. I said, I can't just take a Tuesday off and then wait around all day. And they said that's the only day they deliver in my area. So I said, what can you guys do? Or I'm going to have to return it and buy something else from somewhere else. And they let me take the display model. And I told them, I was like, I don't like the idea of taking a display because little kids jump up on them, they screw around with stuff, they press buttons that they're not supposed to, and it irritates me. They said, well, we can't give you a discount or anything, but they said they'd be more lenient with their return if something was wrong with it. So I said, fine. There's nothing cosmetically wrong with it. So I took it, and I'm very happy with it. My next mower is my Cub Cadet 28-inch wide area swivel caster. It has the electric start. It has the MySpeed drive control. I have the handle set up right so it doesn't whack this giant pile that my dad likes to throw everywhere. This thing is awesome. Very easy to maintain. I wish it had a bigger gas tank. The battery I took out along with the battery in this, they are both in our basement. The engine is actually more than powerful enough to mow. I don't think that people realize how big these mowers are until they get them, and then shortly thereafter they start to realize that they aren't really that big because they've had them for a little while until you go back to another push mower. These are pretty expensive. I think this one is right at $1,000 or a little over $1,000. There's a pull start on it. There's an electric shut off right here. There's your electric start. It does have a deck wash port. This is the bag for it. It was sitting on top of the motor, but I ended up just sticking it between these two decks because I guess I can take this off so you guys can see how big this really is. And the rear of the frame is made really well too. So the rear wheels are really nice. The only complaint that I have about this is the bagging system uses this tube and it screws on with a wing nut, and then it attaches through here, and then when you put the bag on, this door opens and it swings all the way over to the side, and then you put the bag on and it keeps the door closed. But because of the blades that are on this, these are the original blades, I have a mulching set for it too, that doesn't create a whole lot of lift and airflow, so it does tend to get clogged up. This is also not a good mower if you have an uneven lawn, or even if you have like some steep-ish slopes, because I've noticed with mowing my aunt's yard with this, the oil tends to get into a part of the engine or the muffler or somewhere that it's not supposed to be. Then it sits, and then when you go to start it the next time, it smokes for about a minute or two because there's oil that gets into a bad part of the engine. So just be mindful of that. If you're going to mow slopes, mow them first and then mow the rest of your yard, so at least it can work its way out of the mower. It has an easy drain oil plug thing on it too. It's not too heavy, but it's got a really nice weld on it, and I would probably recommend this one though over the Craftsman model, which I don't even know if they sell anymore. They sold a 28-inch push mower, which was like $730. And then there's also a Troy-Bilt Model 2. That one actually has the bagger and everything with it. The Craftsman has a lawn striper on the back of it. So they all have their own cool little feature. Then I have a Snapper string trimmer. It came with a rotary saw attachment for brush cutting. I'm getting rid of this year. It's only a year old. I really like the handle on it, so I might end up keeping that. But I'm going to probably throw the rest or sell it because I'm going to get a Honda or a Shindawa. We don't have a lot to mow down with the weed eater, but it seems to be when you don't use it for a couple weeks, this thing doesn't like to stay running if you're not constantly giving it throttle. So I'm probably going to end up getting rid of it. I mean, it's a powerful trimmer. I got it from Walmart, and quite honestly, it's one of the most powerful for its price. I would stay away from those Blue Max models with like the 42cc engines because they are all Chinese made, poorly Chinese made. This might be Chinese made too, but this one is built better. I'm sure that something can be done for it to stay running longer, and maybe it just needs a carb clean or something, but I'm not screwing with it. It also had the quick attach, and the trimmer head is down there. We have a pressure washer, and then I also have my Husqvarna Honda powered push mower that I bought from a Husqvarna dealer. And I got the Honda engine because I thought it would be more durable and longer lasting, but it's actually been a little more problematic than I would have liked, because it seems to be that it stutters constantly all the time. I don't know if it has bad gas, but then sometimes it'll just kind of, I don't know, fluctuate power like every second. It'll just go up and down and up and down and up and down. Then it'll stabilize a little bit when you engage the self-propelled switches. But I'm not going to replace this. I'm just going to use it until it dies because we have a big push mower. But I think that this is good for the times that I can't really use the wide area one, and sometimes I don't like using the wide area one. If I've already got the tractor out and I already mowed the main area, now I have to only do the slopes, and like I said, I don't recommend using this big push mower for slopes because it's kind of dangerous. You have to lock in the swivel caster so it doesn't roll away down the hill from you, and the oil kind of gets into different spots of the engine that it's not supposed to. Overall, though, this is my lawn equipment set, and thanks for watching, and leave a comment if you have a question about any of these.